Good morning. Today we're going to talk about logical formulae. Logical formulae basically return true or false or use true and false conditions. Now we're going to talk about three different types of logical formulae and then use an additional formula called the n function to return numbers instead of true or false. So our first example here is using the f function. Now it says use the f formula to return 1 if input 1 is greater than input 2 and 0 if input 1 is less than input 2. So we use a function called the f function, so we're at equals if. So if input 1, which is 30, is greater than input 2, which is 25, then return 1. If not, then return 2. So you see how it works. We first define a logical condition, the logical test. Then we say the value if it's true, which can also be a formula, and the value if it's false, which can again also be a formula. Press enter and we get 1 there because input 1 is greater than input 2. Now if we change this to less than input 2, for example enter in 20 and press enter, you'll see the formula updates to 0. The next function we're going to talk about is the AND and OR functions. Now we need to construct a formula to return true if both values are bigger than the cutoff point being 20. So we type in and our first logical condition being input 1 greater than the cutoff point, and then we write comma, define our second logical condition, and you can see that you can put a number of conditions here. In this example we've just got 2, so we go if input 2 is greater than the cutoff point, which is 20. Press enter and you'll see that it returns false because not both these numbers are greater than input 2. Now the next function we're going to do is the OR function, so we write equals OR, so we do the same logical arguments, so we say if, or basically input 1 greater than the cutoff point, input 2 greater than the cutoff point. So it's, if one of these are greater than the cutoff point, we are going to return true, which the formula does. So again, if we just play with this and we put in 21 here so that both are above the cutoff point, you'll see that the AND formula returns true. If we change this to 15 and 14, you'll see the OR returns false as both are below the cutoff point. Quite useful when you're constructing flags in your financial model. We're going to take this one step further, and instead of returning true and false, we're actually going to return numbers, because then you can use your flags in your actual calculations and multiply by 1 or 0, etc. So we're going to use those logical formulae to return binary results being 1 and 0. So it says construct a formula to return 1 if both values are bigger than the cutoff point. So exactly the same thing as before. So product equals AND greater than 20, comma, input 2 is greater than 20, press enter, and you see we get the same false answer here. Now to convert this to a number, we just use a function called the n function and put that around our n function and we get 0. So you see it just converts the true or false value to a number. Similarly, we do the same thing with the OR, so we write OR and do exactly the same thing we've done as before. Close brackets, we get true or false, write an n function around this formula, press enter, and we get 0 again. Now if we update these values, so let's go 21 and 25, you'll see that the number is updated to 1. Sorry, I've just made a mistake here. Shouldn't have put comma there. It should be greater than or equal to. Sorry about that. So both these numbers are greater than the cutoff point. One of these numbers at least is greater than the cutoff point. So if we change this to 15 here, you'll see we go the 0 and the 1 there. So these are very useful functions to use in your financial models to create flags. For example, occurrence of expenses, whether certain conditions are met for inputs, etc. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers.